Well, good morning on this frosty post-Halloween morning. It's the Lord of Toxicity, and we're back. We are back with the next issuance of our Buffyverse retrospective, and I'm very proud today that we're going to bring in the Angel portion of the Buffyverse. For those who watch this TV series in real time, we're lucky enough to have lived in the 80s and 90s and born in the 70s if you're that old. You would know that in 1999, when Angel, the spinoff, came out, they did a cool thing where Buffy would play one of their episodes, in this case, Freshman, season 4, episode 1, and then go right into Angel, City of, or the pilot, depending on whether you go by the novelization name or the show. But let me bring in my panel and we'll get more into that stuff. First and foremost, and not the least of which, the amazing creator of our intros and outros, Mr. Northern English Bastard. Happy post-Halloween. How are you, my friend?
A little less ghoulish right now, and I really do need to change that avatar because, Christ, life has just happened. But I can do that within the stream, so it won't take too long. But apart from that, glad to be still doing this and finding the time to do this. And even though we're kind of put past the third series now and into the OK series 4, I'm still happy to be talking about these episodes because there are still some bangers despite some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Believe that shit. We're gonna get into that. Let's get another person. You know what? Let's make it even. Let's get in. It's November, which is the month of the anniversary of the great United States Marine Corps. So remember, folks, on the 10th to set out crayons for the ghost of Chesty Puller so he can devour them. Mr. E, how are you today, buddy?
And don't forget to fit the whiskey would be nice. I'm doing well.
Fantastic. And here's another American, Critter Kingsford, also my age. Did not watch it in real time, but he did. He is old enough to remember being in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, maybe the 60s or 50s as well, or no?
1969, just the half of that year.
69. That's funny. And my last guess, always on camera because he's so goddamn handsome. It's Tootie Boy. Tootie Boy's returned to us. We have an ongoing thing where I'm going to find out Tootie Boy, when he shows up on these streams, they get an automatic like copyright block, and we're gonna find out today if that's the true Tootie Boy curse or not, because I've had to keep challenging him. But I'm pretty sure last week's stream, graduation day 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure that's still up. I checked it yesterday and it looked like it was still up to me, and I've not gotten any notifications. I did have to challenge it. We did get a copyright block, but I did elevate it to an appeal and used all my legalese knowledge from Kansas City College, and hopefully that won the day. It seems to have up to this point, but we'll try to be careful with this one. I do realize the video clips will be more, but we'll try to talk over them more, and I'll have my fair use clip thing kind of blocking it a little bit. But how are you doing, Toonie Boy? You doing okay? What time is it right there in England, by the way, guys?
It is 8 minutes past 1 p.m.
Okay. So yeah, so it hasn't really changed our time difference.
Yeah, not really. Well, rephrase it. Like for you, it is 1,300 hours.
Oh, look at you! Good job, buddy.
I got the haircut, and then just all of a sudden I had to change.
I love that for you. I love that. Maybe you could work on your Gomer. You know, you could be Gomer Pyle, and you could change that. You know, Toonie Boy to Gomer Pyle. Would you like that?
Shazam! I don't know what that means, but for a second I thought you were going to say work on my weight, and I was like, hey.
No, Full Metal Jacket, because you are chunky with your head shaved, so you look like Gomer Pyle from Full Metal Jacket.
Maybe I should watch that at some point.
Maybe you fucking should. How dare you?
We have to get you on for that, man.
Anyway, I'm going to tell you guys, I did a rewatch at home last night when I got off work. I did a rewatch at home with the girlfriend. She was watching that gay ass Nobody Wants This series on Netflix, which I'm sure fucking Lance will have us watch at some point. And I was like, babe, I don't like this show. So I did my whiny voice. And she's like, if you're going to whine, here's the remote. And I was like, yay. And I turned on the Plex Path and I went straight to Freshman and then Angel right after. And she fucking loved both of them. She wanted to keep going. And I'm like, no. I don't want to go too far ahead because I like to keep it fresh in my mind. But she was digging both of them. So, I mean, you can't get any better grace than that. Little sidebar for me, I didn't see these opening episodes because I had to work, and this was in the age of the VCR. And I'm not going to lie, I was a stupid trying to program the VCR is as that guy from City Slickers. I could not get it. The cows would get it before I would. If you know that reference. I could not figure out how to fucking program the VCR. Finally, my sister took mercy on me and she programmed it the next week. So all I saw was the second episode of each show. So I saw, I think it's Living Conditions for Buffy. And then and of course I saw the previously of. So I went out to Walmart and bought the novelization of City of the pilot of Angel. And that was really cool. And I'm glad I did because I have a little bit more insight. Back in the day, I don't know if you guys know this, not only was these shows so big, they would have novelizations of almost every important episode. So you can still find them, and like you can find them on Amazon. You can go to
Price Books.
Yeah. And Thrift Books has a lot of them like that. So I definitely, if you want to know more insight into these things, and what they would do is the people would write the novels based on the script. So they had not seen the episode because they had to get it out before the episode aired. So you'd get a lot of information that you didn't ordinarily get. And the novelization of the first one of Angel is a fucking banger. So if you can get it, in fact, I might go on Amazon or Thrift Books and see if I can find it because it is really good. It gives you a lot of stuff. But we'll get into that when we get to the Angel. So we're going to do Buffy first, and then we'll do Angel. So everybody cool with that?
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. And has everybody seen this?
Yeah, I just watched them twice this morning.
You watched them twice?
To,
Yeah,
to make up
just-
for all the
yeah,
times
well-
he's not watching stuff.
I know. I
Oh, that's funny. It's funny because sometimes Luke doesn't do his homework sometimes, guys. Sometimes
I had a lot of free time on the phone.
Son of a bitch.
So we basically get with season 4, episode 1. I watched what they did, and watching it with YouTuber writer eyes as opposed to the eyes of just a fanboy, which I'm still both. But watching it now, I realize what they did here. So you've got Willow and Buffy wearing their freshman sweater things that I guess was like a thing back then. And they're hanging out in the graveyard, doing the usual thing, waiting for, whoever's going to rise, and then Buffy's going to kill him. I'm never really clear on how they know who that's going to be or whatever, but I mean, maybe that's a question for another day. But so they're sitting there and they're going over their curriculum and like what, they want to pick for classes and stuff like that. Anyone who's messed with any kind of college knows how tedious that bullshit is, because you're wondering, is this class going to be something that I'm going to really enjoy and it's going to help me with my degree or what I'm going to do for my career or whatever, or is this going to be some dumbass thing where the professor's going to be a total D-bag and I'm going to have to walk out of the class in shame or whatever. So anyway, remember that because it's going to be important later.
Yes.
So they're going over it, and of course Willow's being Willow teacher mode and talking to Buffy, and we're already setting up this thing where Willow is the higher of the hierarchy between her and, but because she is all about learning and school, and Buffy is smart. There's no one saying that she's not, but she's never put in the effort to do like the mechanics of doing these kind of things. And Willow's like all about it. Plus Buffy's kind of, she's coming off of what happened in graduation. Angels has left to LA, which we're going to find out more about later. And, she's just a little apprehensive about it. And in doing so, they completely fucking, I don't know why they would sit away from
with the back turned,
with the back turned to where they think the guy's going to rise. I don't know if they got bad information because she has no, contact with the Watchers Council with Giles. I'm not really sure what happened here that went wrong, but whatever it is, I mean, it's kind of funny, and I like how the vampire like kind of creeps up on him, and then he sees all the weapons and the cross. He's like, "Oh shit!" Like I don't know how he would know about that, but whatever. And I really like that it's juxtaposed against Buffy and Willow talking about it. But what I also realized they did is this is kind of our last look at dark, spooky high school Sunnydale. Like we don't get another look at it like this again for a while. This is like the end of the first, because we're completely hitting a watershed moment with a completely different style of Buffy. Did you guys catch on that or no?
Yeah, like this when they go to the college and it's proper brighter colors, it looks a little bit more lively.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we are going straight into a completely different world with the Buffyverse, at least this portion of it, pretty soon, and really both, because if you put it against the other shows that are within it and stuff like that. I really like that. I do like the little funny joke. I like all the stuff that's happening. I love Buffy going through the thing, and it's like so huge. I did not go to a huge college. I went to a city college, but it was Kansas City College, and Kansas City is fucking huge. So I mean, it was decent size, but I never had like freshman week or anything like that. Like I was like going to the learning annex where they send the retards and the fucking ex-military, which is the same thing. And you just kind of wander around. You're like, what the fuck? Look at this guy in this shirt right here. Like, this guy looks like he's 50. What the fuck? How did this guy get on campus? I'd be worried. I think he's kidnapping people on this campus. Look,
he's the main character of his own spin-off show. We're gonna have to watch that next.
Dude, is this guy like a pre 9/11 like spotter or something like that? Like, what is this guy doing on campus?
He's probably going to the community one to hang out with Chevy Chase and Joel McHale and Alison Brie, maybe. Who knows?
That's a great show, by the way. If you ever get a chance, please check out
Community.
The entire series is out on streaming now on Hulu, so please check that out. But yeah, Buffy's very apprehensive about this. She doesn't like it, and Willow's basically like creaming her jeans at like how awesome it is. She gives this weird cringy speech about how knowledge was
like
looked down on, and now it's gonna get up inside of her and spurt inside of her. And,
that's it. Yeah, just all the knowledge spurting, and then
I have a.
It would have been less. It would have been less dirty if she said she stuck a flute up her pussy. It really would have.
Yeah.
Oh, and this one time at band camp, I stuck a flute in my pussy.
Excuse me?
What? You don't think I know how to get myself off? Hell, that's what half of band camp is. Sex ed. So, are we gonna screw soon? Because I'm getting kind of antsy.
By the way, that movie came out the summer before this happened. So, but again, I didn't see any of this in the first run. I didn't see it till like episode 2. So I didn't see these until they recycled them in the fall. And there was no novelization of this Buffy episode, at least not that I'm aware of. So it was very interesting to like watch this for the first time, because at that point I had already seen like the first 7 or 8 episodes and stuff. So this was all very, very interesting to me. And of course I did see the previously on, which does give you a pretty good overview of what you got. But what did you guys thoughts of this huge difference in kind of setting? Excuse me, the kind of setting and aesthetic of this, juxtaposed against the first 3 seasons. What are you guys' thoughts?
Who goes first?
You go first. You go first. Can you guys not see what order you're in?
Kind of okay. When this was first showing on TV around here, I did miss a big chunk of Buffy back then, but after catching up again, it was kind of like, okay, they're trying to set up a new direction with the show as well, because it can't be high school anymore. It has to be a little bit more mature now, and but at the same time, it's like, it's like they haven't found a proper setup for the big bad yet, even though we do kind of get one a little bit that leads to it.
Okay.
As far as me, it just felt like an introduction. I mean, at this time I was already in college and was going to a very large university at the same time. So it just kind of felt like, I don't know, everyday life, so to speak. I could tell the difference between, I guess, high school and previous episodes, and it just felt like the introduction.
I was going to ask you about that, because I know you've mentioned before that you were, basically watching this in the common area room or whatever at your college that they sent you to. And by the way, was it hard to learn to read and write, or did you manage to get that done before when you got out of the Corps and you went into college? Was that difficult, the reading and the writing part, or were you able to suss that out?
No. Basically, I had somebody follow me around and give me hand signals. So
yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense to me. But when you guys were watching this like in real time, did this seem like, is this kind of like what your college was like? I know I don't want to dox you or anything, but I mean, like, was this similar to like what your college experience was like?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, because we did. This is I guess, online registration. We still had to do everything by paper. They led us around, showed us this part of the campus, because the campus I went to, the main part of it, they call it the 40 acres, and it's huge. They literally have their own bus system that buses you around to get you from end to end. You just can't walk across campus.
No shit.
And so this felt comfortable. I was like, oh wow, this is like going to where I go.
Yeah.
So, I related.
Yeah. so definitely your college experience was definitely different than mine. I mean, mine was like at a little learning annex attached to the college. So I don't even know if they're, like I said, I really think it was just where they put the rejects and stuff. The people who got like their GED, which I did, by the way. And the people were like ex-military, and then like kids were just like kind of just faking it, just going. But I mean, Kansas City is huge. So who's next in the queue? That is Critter. What's your thoughts on the new dynamic?
Just to kind of echo what you guys had said earlier, it's certainly brighter, and also I feel it's wider, larger, and even like the villain's lair seemed even larger than some of the warehouses that we got in earlier Buffy's. So it's definitely a shift. Wasn't jarring. I mean, yeah, they're at college, so it should be a different setting, obviously. But this is all like most of this, and Angel as well. And then of course you have Angel coming up next. Goes right back to all the dark and brooding stuff. So you still get your fix of darkness. But yeah, I mean, completely I would say a image tonal shift from high school to college.
Toonie, give me some profound thoughts, and please keep it tight because remember we got 2 episodes to do.
Yeah, okay. So for a second there, I forgot. So when Critter was saying like wider, larger, brighter, I was like, are we still talking about the campus here, or like?
Yeah, I thought he was going to go into like a little bit of a Willow speech. He was like, it's wider, thicker, longer.
Yeah,
that ass.
But yeah. So with the introduction of the new campus, now it's we're moving into I'd say when the third season was still like really good. It's where the show starts like getting really good. Like every season just seems to improve upon the last, and so I think now that we're heading into season 4, I would imagine that the budget's increased as well. So something about the change in scenery sort of represents, I think, for me, like a massive shift in the show. Like, this is where it's really like, what's the not finding its ground, because you wouldn't get 4 seasons in if you didn't find your ground, but like what's the word I'm after?
I don't know, but I hope you land the plane soon.
Yeah, it's pulling out the big guns, I guess. I think this is where a lot of the really good plot lines start to find their ground.
Yeah. I will tell you, you probably don't know this because this is one of those things that came out like 5 or 10 years before you were born in the 90s. This is a thing where like people didn't like this season. This season has a couple of the best episodes, agreed. Like everyone agrees are some of the best episodes, but most people don't care for season 4. They find it to be very flawed. I don't get that. It's kind of like that thing that we do on Stranger Things where people really hated season 3. But I find season 3 to be very good. Season 4 is better, certainly. But like this season 4, a lot of people did not care for this season. And it does have its flaws, and I will get into it. But
quick side note, I was going to ask you this. I like season 3 of Stranger Things as well. Is it because we grew up during that time? It's a little more, it's comfortable, so to speak. We knew what
it could be that
signified, whereas people don't get the mall.
Yeah, maybe you should ask Nadia if you can jump on the Stranger Things stream. We can talk about it there. Maybe you should. I think you'd be value added to that. I think she'd like that a lot. I'll see if I can make that connection to you. But anywho, I like that, obviously Willow and she's kind of being Willow. She's doing that thing where remember, Willow was like the substitute teacher for a little while they found a replacement for Miss Calendar when Angel snapped her neck like a twig. So she kind of gets into that, teachery mode. And some of the stuff she does is cute, but some of it I could see being very pedantic and exhausting, and she knows it too, because you see the look on her face. She's like, oh shit, and she even says, she's like, am I being annoying? And Buffy's giving her a lot of grace, and Oz comes in. God love him, man. Fucking Oz just right away reads the room, and even though he's already like a big man on campus, he's trying to make Buffy feel better and just be like, yeah, no, it's crazy, it's a madhouse, which took me years to get that reference. You guys know what that reference is from?
Nope.
Planet of the Apes. But he says it quickly so it doesn't sound the same. But they've made that reference like 2 or 3 times on the season. Like in season 2 opener, Xander and Willow are playing the movie game, and Xander goes, "It's a madhouse, and that's from Planet of the Apes. And Oz rocks up here and goes, "Man, it's pretty much a madhouse." And it took me so long to get that reference, but I finally did get it. I don't even know if I got it. I think somebody else like watched it with me at some point and pointed that out to me. But yeah, he's being super cool. But I mean, it's his cover's blown pretty quickly because it's just like, oh no, this is so crazy to me. Hey, Dave. And it's like he's got all these kids. Oh, my band plays here a lot. So, and remember, he's like older than these guys too, because he was supposed to have graduated and he actually didn't. So he had to graduate later. So kind of like, so I like that. I love Oz in this season. Oz is just great in this season. It's not just because it's his last season, spoiler, but he's just great in it overall. But yeah, Buffy's feeling like really overwhelmed, and then especially when they go into this fucking. I wonder if this is the real library. At like some, I guess it must be, huh? But man, this library is fucking enormous, man. I can't believe it is so huge.
Yeah, even Willow's getting wet over it.
Oh yeah, that's like the highlight of the scene. This entire thing is like she's just gawking at all of the books, just all over the place. And I think I don't know if it's this scene exactly, but I'll try to keep this as spoiler free as I can. When
this came out 26 years ago, man. If people didn't watch it and they're watching this, fuck them.
No, but it's a really big season 5, like so when Buffy picks when Buffy picks up the books or something like that, she makes some joke. She says, "When I bring these home, I think my mum's gonna have an aneurysm."
Oh shit! I didn't catch. Oh no!
I was remember in the chat. I was like,
no!
I was like,
yeah, the aneurysm.
Oh my god!
I heard that line. I was like, oh no!
Holy shit! I never got that till just
Ashton Up
now.
and Ned fucking made a joke about it as well. He kept it playing it on fucking repeat, which was a very funny hint.
No shit. I didn't get that. Oh my god. That's horrible.
I had a feeling that would be you would say that, Tony, as well, because as soon as I watched it myself, I was like, wait a minute, is this the
yeah.
Are they looting? Sick bastards.
Damn, dude. Why are you British guys always the angels of death when it comes to like talking about? That's crazy. It's so crazy. I never got that. Good for you.
Those Brits are fucking pessimists. Watch our sitcoms. We are miserable as fuck.
Hey, if I had to live in your horrible fucking country, I would be a pessimist as well. I mean, Jesus, you guys are about to be overrun. By the way, Kansas still has lots of room. Just letting you guys know. But they go to the book. I myself never went to the bookstore. The only time I ever went to the bookstore on the college campus is to steal shit and then sell it to like secondhand stores or something like that. Like these books are so fucking overpriced. You can find them in other places. People would see me with other books like that were secondhand. And they'd be like, where did you get that? I'm like, I go to local bookstores in town. Like, why would you get, people get done with these things and then they just sell them back at like 1/10 of the price. I was like, so why would I buy the brand new book? That doesn't even make any sense.
One of the
and
worst
who puts
things.
Books way the fuck up here too, for that matter. Who did this? That's crazy.
Yeah,
I guess
boys
this is,
with boy band haircuts waiting for pretty blonde vampire slayers to.
it almost seems, it does almost seem that way, doesn't it? Because we get introduced to one of the main pivotal characters for the next couple seasons.
Yeah, they're also psychology.
Boom!
Yeah, but it's also funny because those are psychology books, and he's in the psychology class with the psychology teacher.
Right. So why is he in there? Why is he in there ducking down behind this? But I listen, guys. You're not gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. I'm a big Riley defender. I like Riley. Riley is like, I had that haircut, when I was young. So, I mean, I'm not as tall as him. I didn't play basketball, but I like Riley. I don't know why he gets so much fucking hate. I get it. I mean, he's just, there's a lot of stuff about him that I just find very endearing. And I think he gets way too much hate in the fandom, like way too much. He gets almost as much hate as Xander.
This is why it's great, like just watching something and just not engaging with the community or fandom whatsoever, because I have no idea what people would even hate about Riley.
They think he's bland and boring and pedantic and all of the things.
That was it, but he wasn't really. He was a good guy, really, wasn't he? Yeah, he works for the wrong team at first, but as soon as he saw what he was getting into, he does try to do the right thing.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that at all.
Yeah, no, that's like I said. As soon as he realizes what's happening, he does join the good side.
Yeah. So anyway, they meet Riley, and I think it's funny that Riley he engages with Willow more, like right off the bat. I really like that a lot.
Who wouldn't?
I mean, I don't know. Look at Buffy and look at Willow, though. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. But
I mean, how do you choose? You got a point there, to be fair.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway. I'm sorry, Riley. You deserved better, buddy. But to be fair, Riley does eventually hook up and marry the hot fucking Russian chick from the Banshee TV show. So, and anyone who's seen her sex scenes on that show, we know he definitely traded up. He did very well for himself. So good for you. Good for you. I always wondered why Mark Lucas wasn't a bigger actor. I know he did a few things in the early aughts, but I've not seen him. He played a really fucking hilarious. He basically played a parody of himself in 2010's Night and Day with Tom Cruise, playing like a Boston fireman, and he was so fucking funny in that. He has great comedic timing. Come back to us, Mark Lucas. I think you deserve better, buddy. Anyway, we go to class, and right away. Oh, hang on. We go to class right away. Buffy's not having a good time. She's finding out the professors in college have tenure, and they can say whatever the fuck they want to students whenever the fuck they want to say it. And she goes to her pop culture thing, doesn't sign in on the sign-in sheet correctly or whatever. So maybe she showed up late. I don't know. But this guy totally fucking decimates her. Like, I get that they can say whatever they want, but in that case, can't you say whatever you want too? Like, I would never let a professor talk to me. I'd be like, look, fuck boy, you want to meet out in the fucking parking lot? Are you serious right now? I mean, I get it. Like, she can't technically do that, but I mean, I would never let a professor speak to me with the way that guy did. And I get they don't do that in high school and stuff, and they get, full of themselves. But I'd be like, dude, are you out of your fucking mind? Like, you have a parking space that has your name on it.
Right.
Like, I know where your car is.
But this was I guess that was the exception. I never really had that experience.
Neither did I. Neither did I. All of my professors were really cool. But I mean, again, I cherry picked. I just took classes that I liked that were going to help my English degree. So, but we do get to meet Maggie Walsh, the horrible bitch woman of death that she calls herself, or whatever. I don't like Maggie. There's nothing appealing about her. I don't think she's a good villain. I don't think she's a good foil for Buffy. I don't like, it's a weird thing that happens later with Riley. And I know it's like, they're like, oh no, it sucks that she had to leave the show because it really I don't think she would have been a good final villain either. Anyways, I don't like anything about her. Like, this is, when I think of like early feminism, she's who I think about. Like, this is like, she walks around. She should like, today she would have like blue hair and a septum ring.
I mean, they did call her the horrible bitch woman of death. So I mean, yeah.
But anyway, we get her whole introduction. She's all fucking full of herself, yada yada yada, and then Buffy runs into fucking Pedro Pascal.
I thought that was him. I was going to make a joke about him being like a young Pedro Pascal, but no, that actually is him.
That is Pedro Pascal.
And really is and everything. Like, wow.
The funny thing is,
I liked when he died.
When
am I the only one that watched his death scene on slow motion twice?
With your cock in your hand? Probably.
Both of them, yeah.
I know I did.
So he pops in as another law student, and of course he's nice to Buffy, so of course he's gonna get instantly killed. And then I remember I watched this with my girlfriend last night, and the first thing I was like, do you recognize him? Because we just got done binging Game of Thrones a couple months ago. I'm like, do you recognize him? And she's like, no. And then I played this little clip for her, and she was like, holy shit, that's crazy. I'm like, yeah, man. She's like, I don't know the names of actors. I'm like, you're gonna know this guy because he's like in everything now. So he leaves Buffy, and she feels like she made a new friend, and then of course he's going to run into a pack of vampires. So and I love Sunday. She's so great.
I agree.
I love her little dumbasses minions. The minions are dumbasses and stuff like that.
Whoa.
But
him as well.
Yeah. We played this episode when it re-aired on the bar that I worked at when I was a kid. And we wound up look at fucking Ian. He's such a fucking dork. We played the part where he gets harpooned with the arrow, and he's like, whoa, and he turns to dust, and everybody uproarious laughter from everybody. But man, do I love Sunday so much, man. She's so fucking hot. She should have been the main villain.
Oh, I agree.
In the original script, Sunday was supposed to have been a slayer that got turned into a vampire. That's why Buffy had such a hard time with her. And that's why she was that would have been a great big bad. for season 4. That would have been fucking awesome. Then other than Monster Mash, fucking robot guy, or bring him in, but make her the big bad, and she like takes out Maggie and then like tries to. Go ahead.
They could have just given a first season, the first part of the season arc with Sunday. I would have been happy, but the fact that she just gets cut off at episode 1, just
yeah.
That would have been impressive having that that threat on the campus for, let's say, 3-4 episodes before she's dispatched. It would certainly be a different vibe, I guess, maybe from the coming up episodes.
Yeah. So I'm running my mouth too much because I do have something I've got to do at like 8:30. So let's speed run this bitch. So Buffy's feeling like, hey, this guy's missing. I don't know what to do. Let me go to my watcher. But reminder, she doesn't have a watcher anymore, and you did that shit, Buffy. So I don't know that Wesley would have been much help, but whatever. So she goes to Giles, and Giles is just kind of having fun in his fucking early retirement and banging this hot fucking black chick who was also in a vampire movie a couple years later. I don't know her name off the top of my head, but banging this kind of like weird face but smoking hot body British black chick, and he's just kind of hanging out in the middle of the day, fucking drinking scotch and getting laid, listening to fucking albums, and I love that for him. And Buffy does this thing where he's like, I'm not allowed to have a personal life, and she goes, no, because it's gross, because you're very, very old. And I'm like, so you know what I had to do immediately, right? I had IMDb Anthony Stewart Head, and you know what I did, Critter. Critter knows what I did because he probably did the same thing. Then I got on my calculator and took his age minus the 26 years to see how old Giles is in this episode. And okay, so spoiler alert, I'm rounding up on 50 here pretty soon, okay? And I look on IMDb, I get Anthony Stewart's age, which is like 60 something, and then I took 26 years away from it, and what do I get?
You are now. He's younger than you are now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's younger than me right now.
There you go.
Which trust me,
say goodbye to that private life.
Yeah, my girlfriend thought that was hilarious, and I was like, okay, well, that's you're banging an old man. So
it's okay.
I never thought I'd be older than Daddy Giles. I didn't think I was going to live this long. So they wind up using Eddie to go after her, and his results are about as good as his Game of Thrones results. And then after Buffy takes care of him, Sunday makes short work of Buffy. Now, the reason why my girlfriend was like, why is Buffy fighting like shit? Here's the thing with Buffy. Her abilities are completely keyed into her confidence level. Like, she's not like someone that can put it on autopilot like Angel can. Angel can put his shit on autopilot, his whole world is in disarray, but he's still like wrecking motherfuckers. Buffy, if she's feeling some kind of way or she has a case of the sads, she fights like shit. We saw that in season 1 when she was scared of the Master. We saw it in season 2 when Angel broke her heart. We saw it and she couldn't kill him and blah, blah, blah. We saw it in season 3 when she, like Faith was outdoing her and things like that. We see it here with Sunday. We see it again over and over again. She loses her confidence and then she has to like find her mojo. Now it gets speed run in this one because it happens in just one episode, but a lot of times the big bad does wind up intimidating her. What's you guys' thoughts on that really quick?
It does kind of make a bit more sense now that you mention it and call back to the other episodes, but I think it was something that could have been used a bit more better maybe towards the end, because this is still a first episode and it's still kind of a candy episode that sets a few things up and that's it. But apart from that, like, it's she's still a good villain and it does make her look a bit more fresh.
Oh, she's a great villain. Oh no, she's a great villain. I love the back and forth stuff with her. It's like, hi, I'm Sunday. I'm going to be killing you here shortly in a minute.
Yeah, she kind of feels like a little bit of a precursor to Glory a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. By the way, the actress that plays her, fucking still smoking hot to this day. She is smoking hot. She's not in a lot of stuff, but she is gorgeous. Mystery, what's your thoughts on Buffy losing her mojo and only being able to really be effective when she's like full of rage and all that shit?
Oh, I totally agree. It just feels like she came off a big win with the graduation. She's kind of in a rut, and this is just us seeing her build herself back up.
Critter?
Yeah, I also agree. I think it's a concept that's been done in other heroes and superhero films where they're weaker when they are weaker and they get stronger when they feel stronger.
Right. Toonie Boy.
Yeah, I mean, what's her name again? Sunday. She
Yeah,
does break
Sunday.
her arm like pretty early in the fight, doesn't she? I mean, it's not like this dead long-winded 2-minute fight. It's like they have the initial verbal back and forth, and then there's like a quick fight breaks out, and then she gets injured pretty early on in the fight, doesn't it? It's not.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, I mean, it'd be pretty easy when it's like a 4v1. To like, even if all 4 of them aren't actually attacking you, you'd still want to keep them in your vision just in case one of them goes for a hit around the back of the head. So even if it's not a true 1v1, it's sort of you're only really fighting one. But so it'd be pretty easy to get I mean, well, if you're a vampire, not for a human, it'd be pretty easy for you to get the quick debilitating hit, and then once that's done, I mean, then she will be fighting weaker. I did enjoy the back and forth, like you mentioned, though, when Sunday threatened Buffy with saying, like, I'll be killing you in a minute, and then Buffy just goes, wow, that gets more that gets more frightening every time I hear it.
Yeah, that was a good clapback. I like it.
Yeah. Like, every villain in like every season is like, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, 4 seasons later, I'm still here.
Yeah, no, that's great. I like that Buffy immediately like runs to home and then sees that mom has put boxes in her room. That's awesome. Good for you, Joyce. Fuck them kids. you live your life, Joyce. You don't need to wait on Buffy. Who cares? This is interesting. So when I first watched this, like I said, I saw it out of sequence, unfortunately. And when I saw this, I didn't match it up with, so we think, maybe we're supposed to think, and I know that I did, we think that this is like the vampire Sunday and her vampire horde fucking with Buffy, like crank calling her like, yes, or saying, like soon Buffy, or making her wonder. But we find out in the next episode, this is the tie-in, and this is actually Angel calling her and being too much of a pussy to just talk to her.
Yeah.
So, did anybody else get that, or no?
Yeah. Well, I thought
not at first until I watched this back to back with the first.
Did you think it was Sunday and her crew fucking with her, or did you just not know?
That's what I thought. I thought it was. Go on.
No, go on, Tony Boy. I've said my bit anyway.
I thought I didn't think it was the crew fucking with her. I just thought it was them, like, maybe calling several houses to listen to the voice of who picked up to see if they could find Buffy. But I mean, that didn't end up happening, so that theory kind of went out the window. But that's what I originally thought, was that when she picked up and said hello, then it would have been the vampire crew, and the other end being like, that's Buffy, that's her house.
Yeah. This must be really weird for you to see this kind of phone, huh? And like, yeah, you have to answer it, and but this is crazy.
I've watched movies before. I've seen these phones before.
I've seen old reels on the telly. Toxic. I know what a telephone is.
I might not have seen the phones before. I might not have seen the phones before, but I've seen them in movies.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so she decides to go to the Bronze, and she runs into Xander, and Xander gives her, well, at first he tries to give her a fucking Star Wars Episode 1 speech, which is really cringy that he did that. I get it that the movie had just come out that summer, but I didn't like that at all. I thought that was stupid as fuck. But then he does say something cool, because he is, he's Xander, and says, Buffy, you're my hero. Let's go put this bitch in the ground. Fucking love that. Fucking Xander, man. Do people not think of that when they're all hating on Xander? Do they just skip over this stuff?
Yeah, they absolutely do.
This is one of his good points. I mean, it's another good point that comes back later with in season 6 as well, the final. Yeah.
No, he's really great. What do you call it? Fucking hype man in this right here.
Yeah.
He's really
I think season 4 is when Oz really does start to improve a bit more. He starts to lose a little bit of the pettiness than he did in the previous series.
You meant to say Xander, right?
Xander, yeah. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So anyway, they go in. Buffy fucks up and falls through the window while still injured, and she gets her mojo back. Not necessarily because of Xander and the crew coming in and stuff like that, but because Sunday decides to do the one thing you should never do to Buffy, which is to fucking piss her off, and stomps on her fucking award. By the way, sidebar note, I love when Xander goes in to get the crew to come help, and I love this so good comedic time, and he hugs the annoying roommate, and he's like, we don't know each other. She's like, nope. He's like, this is intrusive. Yep. Sorry about that.
He goes up to Xander and he goes, do we hug? And he goes, I think we're too manly.
Yeah, to Oz. Yeah. And I love the way he used coded wording. You know, she wants to get her stuff back from her friends that sleep all day and don't have tans. Like,
those friends. Yeah, we know them.
Speaking in code, secret
I
code.
wish I could play that whole scene without fear of a copyright, but I mean that whole scene of just, you know, it's like great fuck. You could tell Joss wrote all that dialogue because it's just Buffy would never do this. Well, except for that one time she did this and changed her name for 2 months. But there were circumstances.
Yeah. There's no circumstances here. You can see her sort of
and then we get another of her fussing at Oz and said, "Well, how can you stay so calm? Hours and hours of arduous practice."
And he's still making that face in the background as well. He's like, his facial expression just doesn't change.
But I do like that the crew comes in and they do dust a couple of the vampires, including the from Willow.
Yeah.
They do a good job, and fucking Oz again. Hey, Buffy, you need a hand? I don't like that Buffy dispatches it, but we get a cool little aura scene of Buffy flipping the stake and throwing it. By the way, that's a move you can do in the video game. I know I always say that, but that's a cool, like, flipping the stake and then throwing it at a vampire to dust them after you've, you know, punched them enough time so that lower their fucking health rating. So that's my only, like, nerdism that I have for, you know.
Oh, is that something you have to do in the game? Like, you can't just stake them straight away.
No, you can't. Yeah, it won't. Yeah, you have to hit them and kick them at least a couple times and get their health meter down. But yeah, Buffy finds her mojo by fucking, you know, it's always this way. It's always her getting pissed off. And then that's how she overcomes the day, by letting anger win. You know,
I like how it's always over girly stuff like you mess with my claws and you call them tacky. I'm gonna kill you for that because she's still a teenage girl, isn't she? At heart.
Yeah, it's always like my favorite. I love the way Sunday dies here. By the way, it's like she sort of stands. She's like, for God's sake,
she's like, fuck. This was a great reveal. I wish that I had seen this in real time because it was spoiled for me with the previously on. Because I was like watching the previously on when I watched the next episode, Living Conditions, and these dudes come up and fucking tase and then like basically capture a vampire, and they're in military garb, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? What is going on here? This is crazy. So yeah, a great episode. Really love it. I guess so. Unfortunately, the knockout meter hasn't been touched in a while, but does can I get a real quick, brief final thoughts on this? You know, what did you like? What did you not like? Really, as quickly as you can do it. Northern.
I do like the little reveal at the end because it shows that it's not just demons that could be the real danger. It could be man itself or the government, something like that.
Sure.
And we get a fun little villain. Shame she's a one-off. It's a good little setup to where the change in direction the show is going. Pretty much staying close to that coming of age kind of tone. That kind of that it pretty much is kind of originating from. And and there was some better episodes in this series, but we will get to them when we will get to them later.
Mr. E?
I thought it was a good start to the series. Wish they would have kept Sunday. Other than that, I'm just ready to get through this season.
Nice. Tuning Boy?
Yeah, I enjoyed every bit of this episode. To be perfectly honest, I don't know if they ever actually established this in later in the season, but like if Riley and the Doctor were actually trying to sort of establish communications with Buffy, because they kind of, when Buffy knocked the psychology books onto Riley.
No, I see where you're going with that. No, I think they really just thought that. I mean, even though they're aware of the mystical stuff that's going on, I think they thought that might be one of the myths. You know, like Buffy has that joke, "You were myth-taken." So they thought, like, that's probably.
Do you reckon it's just a tongue-in-cheek joke, like psychology books dropped onto the guy who's like when she's trying to get into?
I think it's a little bit of a ham-handed way, but I also think there might be some merit to what Northern said. Like maybe you notice that those books were put like way the fuck up there where only he could reach them. So and then he's crouched down. Maybe he put that up there so hot chicks would drop that on his head.
Yeah, like joking, but now I'm starting to suspect.
It seems quite probable now. It seems quite probable. Riley, you dastardly. It would be great if they had a throwaway line later when he's talking to one of his buds and they're like, "Hey, did the psychology book trick work? Did you meet up with any hotties?" He's like, "No, just this goofy chick and then this other chick that seemed kind of cool, dropped them on my heads, but no, didn't get any. That would have been really cool. I would have that's how I would have written it. But again, that's, it is what it is. Critter.
Really quick, I enjoyed the episode, but I thought Giles holding both 2 battle axes and some crossbows and then puts his arms out to grab another box from Willow. Like, how strong is this guy?
I also thought that too. I was like, is Xander's like manhandling? I know Xander's in pretty good shape in, real life, but he's supposed to be sort of kind of a dork and is not working construction yet. How the fuck is he carrying that weapons chest all by himself?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then the other thing I did, because I watched Angel first, because I was eager to get a hold of this, start watching the show. Sure. In my mind, the unanswered phone call that Buffy gets, that was Angel kind of reaching out to her and didn't want to talk to her, and then
I know. I didn't know that at the time that I watched it though. I didn't know.
Only because in the Angel episode, he does make a phone call and then hang whatever. Anyway, so
yeah, no. I get you. Any favorite quotes? Anyone want to bust out a favorite quote from this, or move on to Angel?
Yes. When you look back at this, in the 3 seconds it'll take for you to turn to dust, I think you'll find the mistake was touching my stuff.
Nice.
I like Buffy. Yeah. Buffy, after she gets beaten up by Sunday's gang, vampires, actual vampires. Maybe I should have started with a smaller college.
Toonie boy.
Favorite quotes.
Critter, go.
You are fat, and that sweater makes you look purple.
That's such a great line. Fuck, it's so good.
Yeah, the fact that you're fat is what makes you look fat. Yeah, that was a good
The sweater just makes you look purple.
Yeah.
Toonie boy.
Joyce saying like, well, I thought you wouldn't be home for a few weeks when it's when and then Buffy says, well, all the stuff's in her room, and Buffy goes, well, if it's my room, shouldn't I be able to fit in it?
I've always liked the line because she claps back at Willow a little bit, but she does it in a way that I don't think Willow caught. She's just like, because Willow's like, oh, you should have got your ID early. There's a really long line. Oh, look, it's my on-campus boyfriend. And the Buffy's like, boy, where do I get one of those? I bet there's a really long line. It's like,
also, can we go back to where that Pedro Pascal meeting? He mentioned something about bondage, and Buffy says, "Oh no, I'm not into porn." Well, I'm trying to cut back. I'm like, wait, Buffy, what? What did you say, Buffy?
Yeah, I do like that a lot. Anyway, so here we go. You guys ready? Angel, season 1, City of. Man, great fucking intro, Luke. I cannot fucking thank you enough, dude. You do.
I think that was for the outro, but I did send you the intro a while back. Do you want me to send you it again?
I'll just use that. I like that a lot.
I thought you just wanted something a bit more specific to the first series, and then I could make you another for the second series. But it's up to you, man. I can.
I really like that. I like that. Do you guys like that one? Do you guys like it?
I love all that. Yes, these are both fantastic.
I think you're good where I mean, if you want to, like, it's completely up to you. But I mean, I really like it, buddy. So I mean,
all right, well, I'll still send you it in case you change your mind anyway. But after that, I'll try and redo it a little bit to make it look more like an intro than an outro. So
sure.
Okay.
So anyway, we got Angel, City of. Like I said, I read the novel before. It was a real, it wasn't like a huge. It's like a little pocket book. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what pocket books are. They're like little mini novels. They're like basically like reading a graphic novel, maybe even smaller. And I read that and I thought it was very interesting. Watched the show, thought that was interesting, but then wondered where all the missing scenes was. They actually have like a backstory of Darla talking about Angel and things like that at the beginning. Then it leads into 1999. So it's like 1899, and we get to see the actual scene of how Darla got fucked up originally and things like that. So I thought that was really cool and interesting. We get some cool introductory of some characters. I love Lindsay McDonald. Fuck, I love Lindsay McDonald so much. He's one of my favorite, and I love I'll tell you what, I am always going to be a big Buffy defender, but at the same time, Angel is the better show. And I'll die on that hill that Angel is the more quality show. It has a more focused storyline, has better, they don't like do one-off with, and blow away villains. Like their villains are great. Their sub villains are also just as great, but the overarching nemesis is perfect. And what a great way to have, a nemesis in a fucking law firm. And
yeah, you just want to punch this prick as well, don't you? Because he plays it so well. He's such an asshole, that Lindsay. He is.
Yeah, he's great. He is so good. He's good in everything I've ever seen him in. Really, that actor. I can't think of his name.
He's very underrated. He is.
Very. Anyway, so Angel's moved out to LA, somehow has garnered this office space. I won't lie, my idea for as Luke will tell you, when I started my security business, I kind of did the same thing. I had this office space area and I provided security for it, and they basically let me live in the little it's sort of like loft or hostel, whatever. It's like a one-room thing that they had in it, and I just kind of operated out of there inside of a law firm in Lawrence, Kansas. So it was really awesome. And I kind of, I'm not going to lie, it had like a little tunnel system too. I won't lie that I did sometimes go out to my car through the tunnel system. I don't have a long jacket like that, but I did think of myself as Angel a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't have a cool secretary and I didn't fight demons, but I did do security on campus, and I did do a couple of private eye shit out of that office, and I really like that. Man, I miss that office. That was so cool. It was I like where I have now, but I'm not gonna lie, that was much cooler. Anyway, and how he got that, I don't know. Did he sell the mansion? How did he get the mansion in the first place? Who knows the logistics? But whatever. I love the thing that he's got, and then of course he runs into, his first bit of trouble, which is going up against a bunch of vampires that are gonna kill some ladies in an alley. He defeats them pretty easy. I don't like the original look of because they wanted to separate themselves from Buffy, so they have like these vampire kabuki mask type shit going on with the vampire faces and stuff. I didn't like that. They stopped it pretty quickly. I think they stopped it midway through this season, but in the first couple of episodes, the big old puffy vampire, I don't think I have anything on it.
Yeah, I noticed that with Russell as well, and when he goes to kill that Kelly lass.
Yeah. So he does defeat them pretty handily, and then we find out that he's still got like a bad thirst for blood. Doyle shows up, and we get our first mention of the powers that be. They get their first mention of that. So if the lawyers are working for the powers of darkness, we get our first mention of who Angel, and ultimately we find out Buffy's also been working for them, just unbeknownst to her, the powers that be. And the way, since Buffy gets the precognitive dreams, and she has the Watchers Council and stuff like that, if Angel has to have his mission, then they've got to have a thing where he has a conduit. And of course that conduit is Doyle. He's a half demon, kind of loser schmucky, but I love the actor that played him. I like that they let him use his Irish accent right away. I was like, hey, it's the dude from the Roseanne, yeah. And I think he's funny as fuck. He was great. I know apparently he was really, really fucked up on drugs. I kind of got that from him. But in a different world, maybe we had Doyle on the team when Wesley shows up and things like that, as opposed to Wesley having to be a replacement for him. And I love Wesley to death, but I mean, that would have been a really cool little team that they would have had together. But anyway, I digress. So, he gets visions of people in need, and Angel has to go save them. And the first one he gets is this really hot chick that is working in a coffee shop, and she's being messed with by these guys, and he doesn't know why. Goes to a party, and when he goes to the party, guess who he meets?
Believe it? I mean, I just started it as a way to make some quick cash, and then boom, it was like my life. So, are you still...
For this entire exchange, this was my favorite quotes, the back and forth between these two, and I'm just yapping to avoid maybe a copyright.
Yeah,
strike.
no, I got you.
Oh, yeah.
But so yeah, I really enjoyed this one sequence, and because of what you find out later, it made me feel really awful for this character who I kind of hated, and now I feel bad for her.
I know, because they really do evolve her in this series. I mean, she starts to actually become a bit useful. She's not just wandering in and out of the library saying, "Oh, I'm bored now. Can I go?" She's like, no, she actually gets in there a little bit more with these characters.
No, they definitely have more of a use for her in this series than they do in the other one, and I'm glad
You
that
really
they
should be talking to
chose to
people
do this.
that-
I'm also glad they didn't choose to put Xander in the series, which they had toyed around with that option. I don't know what the hell that would have looked like, as far as that goes.
And
No
I
power on this
especially,
earth.
I especially like the. Are you still doing rawr? And he looked with her fingers up like claws.
Yeah, no, that's great. But yeah, we get, so we know that she's going to be involved in it some kind of way. But then we go to the little blonde girl that he's trying to help out. I like the fact that, after Angel saves her, she thinks she needs to fuck him. And he's like, no, we ain't got to do that. I also like the heavy internet age. So Angel goes when he's trying to find out if this guy Russell has been killing other women, as it is alluded to, by Tina, the victim, the client. He finds out that, there is indeed a slew of women that have been getting killed, and he has to go to like the library, the LA library, after hours. That was going to be like a whole thing. And then they were like, listen, this is too much money. Why don't we just get Angel a computer in his office?
Or that microfiche machine.
Yeah, because he's a vampire, he's a PI. He has to adapt with what's happening in society a lot more, doesn't he?
So this right here, we find, he accidentally outs himself as a vampire. Tina thinks it's another scam from the bad guy Russell, and which technically that was true, but it's also not true at the same time. So what happens is he finds her dead, touches her blood, and then in the novelization, they quick cut away from that. And if it looks jarring, it's jarring for a reason, because they filmed but did not show that Angel touches her neck with the blood, and then he starts, before he realizes what's happening, he's drinking it. He was drinking her blood.
Yeah, I could see that was. I could already see that was sort of where they were going with it, because they implied it before, didn't they? At the beginning, when he saved that girl, she had got a head wound. She was bleeding from her head.
And Doyle warns him, you can't just be, Batman in the night. You have to be like engaging with people so that you see them as people, so that you don't just see them as pawns. Because after a while, you'd be like, hey, I'm ahead on points. Again, going back to the original trolley problem that Faith.
I know, that would completely contradicted that, wouldn't it, if they allowed that in the actual show?
Yeah. So when I read that, I was like, oh wow, this is crazy. And that's why he goes so hard up against Russell, because he's mad at himself for fucking, for falling off the wagon, so to speak, with that, because he had started drinking, because he's like, fuck it, she's already dead anyway. And that's just a horrible way to look at it. He knows that. So, a lot of people don't realize that, like, he can if he wanted to, and he did for a long time. You'll find out later that after he gets the soul back, he does wind up going in and he does kill a bunch of people. He kills, but they're all, like, as Darla points out to him, when he's trying to pretend to still be a vampire, it's like all just bad guys. But he realizes that, and then later he, even like 100 years later, like in the 50s or whatever, he's still drinking human blood. It's not until we see him in the Buffyverse that he's switched over to animals and rats and pig's blood and things like that, just to survive. But yeah, it's like for a long time. And then of course the last one that he drank was Buffy, and it was the superpower Slayer juice, the tie stick, as the guy said in the Buffy episode. So yeah, he's all fucked up. And then so he does taste Tina before he realizes what he's doing. And this scene after this was supposed to be him like watching them carry off his body. And so if you listen closely, when Russell is talking to Lindsay, his lawyer, and Lindsay says another dark complected male, although I don't know if he's dark complected, maybe that means his hair, I don't know, it was leaving the scene with blood all over his hands. That's not something they made up. That's Angel did. He had blood all over his hands because he was fucking taking her blood and like licking it off his hands and shit like that. I kind of wish they would have shown that. What do you guys thought?
Without that extra information, that sounded like they were setting them up.
It did, and they were, but it's it was also true though. He did do that. So this is actually the scene right here. This is actually right here. What you're looking at. This is that, and then I don't know if they say it on the DVD commentary or if I read it somewhere. I mean, I know I read it in the novel, but it was filmed, and then they were like, nah, that's a little too dark. But I think it would have worked.
I wouldn't have said it was dark. I would have said that like it has a pretty interesting effect on its character. I mean, it's already dark enough that we're seeing an innocent woman's dead body, bleeding from the neck. I mean, it's not exactly much darker to have the vampires we know exist like just drink. But I mean, like, yeah, it's a notch on his character if he's kind of fallen off a little bit. He's trying to play the hero. He's trying to save people, and then he's caught himself drinking the blood of an innocent girl.
I always love this scene in the party scene going back where the guy, he meets the gay like talent manager. He's like, you're very, because this is actually how he got hired, is just some random talent scout like found him walking a dog, and it was just like, you are a beautiful man. And he was like, thanks, I'm not an actor. And he's like, no, I like the humor, I like the whole thing. I'm not hitting on you. I'm in a very serious relationship with a landscape architect, which just means that he's probably banging some border jumper that fucking mows people's lawns, and he says landscape architect. But I love the fact that he says landscape architect because it doesn't like specifically say, what I mean. But I love that that's something that would be said. That's almost like a real conversation, and I love that they bring him back later. I would have liked to see this guy more. Is another little ancillary character I would have liked to have seen more of later on. By the way, this chick does not age well. If you look up Tracy Gryffindorf or whatever the fuck her name is, that's probably not how you say her name. I'm just saying it like that. She did not age well with this at all. So it's no good. Gotta wonder where did Angel get this the car and how did he get all this stuff?
Well, honestly, I think he read the book Economics of the Undead, which is a cool book.
Yeah.
Plus,
well, it's been last for a good
all those years ago.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to that meme, isn't it? Like, how are these vampires so rich? It's like, well, if you've been for 300 years and you haven't learned how to handle your money, then you better walk into the bloody sun.
Yeah,
he can pay it off.
Don't they try to play it off like he is poor? And then Cordelia says exactly that, doesn't it? Doesn't she?
I guess poor by LA standards. What do you guys think of him, like, as opposed to Buffy, where she is the weapon and her stuff is basically just occasionally she uses a crossbow, once in a while a sword, but mostly just a stake, whereas Angel has this whole assortment of gadgets. What's your thoughts on that? You guys like that or no?
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, it suits him as well. Yeah. He comes from he comes from a time when swords were kind of common as well, so it suits his character.
Yeah.
I suppose he would have to as well, wouldn't he? I mean, as a vampire, you can't just kill like vampires. I mean, I guess you sometimes can, but like with your bare hands, you have to use a stake or a silver bullet or stuff like that. Yeah. You do kind of have to use these fancy tools. He might be a vampire, but he doesn't have Slayer strength.
Well, no, I mean, he does though. He's a master vampire, so he's probably on par with Buffy. He might be slightly below Buffy, but if it's only slightly. It's just like after like 100 years, you really start to get. I guess that's like the thing, and he's like 240, so he's pretty high up there as far as that.
Yeah, that's added advantage. Why not? I mean, the odds and numbers are stacked against him, so every advantage you could use to carry out your mission, do so.
Actually, he's more than 240 because he spent like 100 years in the hell dimension or whatever.
Yeah.
So
he's very well adjusted considering that. I mean, he spent 100 years like burning in hell, and he came out. He was temporarily insane, but like not for very long. So you're like, I mean, damn.
Well, they say whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah. I got to wrap this up really quick. So let's do the coolest scene after he fights with Russell. He escapes and, he comes in and, Cordelia says the line, because he wasn't able to save Tina, but he did save Cordy. And he says that, she's like, well, he's not just going to come after me. You put the fear of God in him. I'm like, dude, what? No, that's not what happened.
Definitely not.
And see, now that's a problem right there because we're going to find out later that's actually Wolfram and Hart. So it's saying Russell Winters Industries doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's sort of incongruous to the plot.
Ultron Mutual Trust binders ready for your signature.
Because later we find out when he goes and braces Lindsay on another matter, when Faith comes into it, we find out that
several top private investigators.
he's like, didn't you throw a client of mine out the window? This is so bad. I mean, everything about this is fucking badass.
I'm with Wolfram and Hart. Mr. Winters has never been accused and shall never be convicted of any crime. Ever.
He's such a what a putz. He's such a fucking putz here, man. I can't believe it. But I love this whole like I can do whatever I want bullshit. And he's like, oh, you can. I knew exactly what he was gonna do as soon as he put his foot on that chair. I knew exact. This guy was so overconfident with this. But this has got to be the best, one of the best lines in the entire series here. Oh, you can do all this kind of stuff, huh? Yeah.
Can you fly? Can you fly, Bobby?
Can you fly, Bobby?
You burnt the money.
No.
That was one for real.
I look for Dick Jones.
Wait.
I can see my house from here. I'm really burning now.
Yes, not. Yeah, that's great. Anyway, final thoughts, everybody, and I got to close it down.
Yeah, it's a good setup for the rest of the series. I mean, it does get better once we get Wesley and Gunn and Fred in there and Lorne as well. But it is already establishing, that we are going a different direction from Buffy. We are doing the coming of age thing. We're going to be a bit more adult, more noirish, and it was good to sort of see Cordelia become, have the potential to be a very useful ally as well. So just a comedic, sad character. But and that's my final thoughts. But can't wait to get into the rest of the series.
All right.
This is a great start to a great show.
All right. Toonie.
Uh-oh. Anyway, I
I'm back.
thought it was...
There we go. Sorry. Right. Which part did I miss? It was the end, wasn't it?
What are your thoughts on the show?
on the show, I mean, the episode so far, it's the only one I've watched. It was a very good introduction to what I've been told is a better show than Buffy, of which I also very much enjoy. And I did enjoy the solution to this first villain. He does this whole like several layers of protection scheme. It's like, if you like me, you can get away with anything you want. No, it's like the lawyer says, my client has never been accused or ever will be accused of any crime because he's just that high in the system. He's got it all figured out. He's protected.
Hey, you guys prattle on for a second. I gotta mute my mic and do something real quick.
Yeah. And he's like, so basically just nothing can get in his way. Nothing can stop him. If he wants to get like evidence of him or anything like that, it's not going to happen. And he goes, well, if you like me, you can do anything you want. And he just looks at him and he goes, can you fly? And then just kicks him out the window.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I mean,
I love how overconfident these people are as well. It's like, we can do whatever they like, but they haven't counted on Angel fucking busting down their doors and kicking their fucking CEO out of the window.
Yeah, because it's coming from his point of view is he's dealing with humans versus, like all his prey are just, dopey actor wannabes and whatnot. And I'm sure whatever bullshit he's gotten into. But now he's up against like a Blade the Vampire Hunter or, a low-tier superhero character.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the Daredevil situation, right? It's like, he's protected from lawyers like Matt Murdock and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, but even Daredevil will only go so far, right? Like, whereas Angel doesn't give a fuck. He's not in that system whatsoever. He doesn't live in human society. Yeah. He's not the vampire Neanderthal because we'll be getting to those at some point in Buffy.
It shows us a bit more morally ambiguous as well. Like, he's good, but he'll also be a very fucking ruthless when he wants to be. He will be as monstrous as the monsters he goes after if it means preventing more innocents from being harmed.
Well, he's a monster taking on the worst monsters.
Yeah,
but also at the same time, he's not bound by human ethics, so to speak, or human frailty. He's able to step beyond the boundary just a little bit.
Yeah. It's like because here's the thing is that even if a human was just the fuck around and find out type, like they would just go into a building and just pick the supervillain of the week and then throw him out of a window. as a human, they'd start to face like the human consequences. Whereas people like Angel, who are a vampire, they don't engage with humans at all anyway. So it's not like they're going to track him down and arrest him. The best they'll be able to do is try and kill him, of which he will win. So yeah, he just goes in, kills him, and walks out like nothing. And you're like, you gotta love it when people don't get away with. You gotta love it when villains don't get away with evil shit, but also when they're confident enough to think that they will get away with evil shit, and then they just get checked immediately. You love to see it.
I also
But
like.
also,
I'm sorry. I
No,
also
go
like the
ahead.
fact that he dispatches him, he lights on fire, and there's no body, just a chair. So if the few people that look up might think, "Oh, what is that?" and something
It's a
burning,
chair.
you know, a box of paper or whatever. So technically he's gone. So now I guess the company, oh, he's on a trip, or you know,
Yeah.
he went to the hospital, he didn't come out. Like, so it's not like there's a body on the floor for the cops to show up and go, oh my God, this guy was thrown out of a window. No, a chair. Someone smashed a chair out of a window. That's about it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the big evil is a corporation. You know, it's not just one big demon. No, it's a corporation that is pretty much aligned themselves with evil. You know, they've sold their souls, you know.
I love the power play that he makes as well. Like when he does the whole like villain speech, he just sort of puts his leg on the chair. It's kind of like the Bane moment where he puts his hand on his shoulder. Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of that like he listens to this big old speech about how he can't do anything to him. He's immune, he's protected, and then just the leg on the chair, and you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen next? Can you fly?
I mean, Russell must be a pretty good villain in this.
Which of the Lethal Weapon movies was it? The second one, Diplomatic Immunity, and it's just like he just shoots him. I mean, it wasn't a long, drawn out speech, but still, like I think the concept is there that he's so pompous and full of it, being protected time and time again, and the hero's like, nah, we're done.
Yeah,
diplomatic.
Sorry, what was you saying?
I was gonna say, I mean, it's like, yeah, diplomatic immunity is great. I just won't use diplomacy. Like, it's like, all right, brilliant. It's like wearing a stab vest when I've got like a rocket launcher. It's like, yeah, all right, say what are you gonna do now?
Yeah, plus
And
David Boreanaz does look a lot more. Well, I'm just saying something. David Boreanaz does look a lot more confident here as well, because you kind of see him in Buffy. He feels like a guy suffering, doesn't he? But he looks like he's kind of starting to sort of be okay with his pain at the moment and be able to use it.
Yeah,
for lack of a better
he
term.
seems like almost like exhausted. That like he in his brain as he's stepping forward, like, yeah, he's just going to solve this problem. Like, he has no other options. Like, there's no way he's going to let this continue. This guy continue. You know. I also want to say that
it's like he says in one of my favorite quotes. Yeah.
No, I was just going to add on while we're killing time. The special effects I thought seemed to be a little bit of a level up. Like when his hand was burning and his face turned into vampire, or the assistant guy, I can't think, the Irish fella, when he sneezes, coughs, like half his brain, half his face is a demon. I thought both those sequences were pretty decent special effects wise.
Yeah, I understood
for
that
the time
they
as
actually
well,
pumped in a lot of money. This was a highly anticipated spin-off.
Oh, they dumped money into this thing versus
They saw the draw.
Okay, I'm back. Hotel stuffs. Sorry, I love working when I'm not getting paid. I really love this episode, and I really love how they kicked it off. I think a lot of series struggle in the first season. I mean, listen, Buffy was lucky that I kept watching it, because season 1 of Buffy isn't great, and it's only like half of a season. So it's only got like 3 or 4 good episodes, if I'm being honest. But this is like, I think this is like, I can't think of a bad episode in this Angel season 1. I can't think of a bad one. Maybe there is. I don't know. But
I can't think of one either. Not just because I've not, and mainly because I've never seen it.
Okay, well, fair play.
Well, I was just going to add on, like, I love the film noir aspect of it, and I'll also say that having only seen like maybe 2 episodes of Angel, this pulled me in. Like, this got me excited for all the episodes I had never seen before that I'm about to watch. So I thought this was a very strong start versus other shows that kind of start off weekly. Not weekly, but weak.
Yeah, no, I get, weak is the proper grammar there. And that, but yeah, no, this is great. I think I'm going to forego doing the, I love the little TV announcements that I had, but I'm wondering if that's really what's been costing me the the copyright stuff, because I think we're pretty clean on this one. I was really, really careful. I feel like we're going to get this through without too much of a problem, but I may just go ahead and forego the maybe just for like special watershed episodes. I'll do the, you know, next week on Angel or next week on Buffy, you know, like I think I'll forego those as a rule for now, especially if we have a clip heavy. Although this wasn't, to be fair, I didn't use very many clips and stuff. I used more stills and IMDb stuff than anything else. So I think we should be pretty good, but we'll see how it plays out. Again, we got the Curse of Toonie Boy back, so who knows where that's going to go. But yeah, man, I'm super duper excited for this, and I love the Buffy then Angel, and that's pretty much how we'll do it for the remainder. And then I guess by the time we get to season 5, it'll be it'll be Angel all by itself, and we can really deep dive into that, because, you know, Buffy ended 1 year before Angel did, as far as that goes. May wind up touching a little bit on Buffy season 8, you know, because Joss did helm the graphic novel, and they have made, believe it or not, they've made a what do you call it? What's that called when they take comics and they stop motion? Or no, that's not right, is it? What is it called when they take comics and put them
I think it's flash motion, but I could be wrong. Oh, motion comic. It's a motion comic.
Yeah. So they do have that. I've actually got one on iTunes, and it's really good. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll try to do that if you guys are interested. So we have a Buffy season 8 with Angel's final season. Would that interest you guys?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Are you guys
I'll
familiar with that at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't read it, but I will try and give it a go.
Yeah.
Well, it's on YouTube now. A lot of it's on YouTube. So
Okay.
and yeah, so you can purchase it. So like I said, I purchased it while I was in Iraq, and I watched, because I didn't have time to, because I could just play it in the background while I was shooting insurgents, or people we just assumed were insurgents, which is, you know, usually the thing. I'm kidding. I knew they were, probably. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Anywho, thank you guys. You guys really made this you know, you always do. And I like that you took the time to do this with me. And I guess, should I play the thing as the outro? You know what? I may wind up taking you up on the intro thing, and then doing that, because now I don't know if I'm supposed to play us out or just end the stream. So, well, till next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.